All right, welcome back to another episode of Small Guys Podcast. Today we are doing a bonus episode for House of the Dragon Season 1 with special guest Spencer. Welcome back, Spencer.
Hey, Spencer.
Yeah, I think it was the bracket episode we did like kind of the first half of the season. But this episode we'll talk about the entire season. Just to kind of do a non-shameless plug really quick, we are selling Small Guys hats now. It's links in the bio for on Instagram and I think Twitter too, right, Brian?
Yep.
If it's not, it will be. But anyway, yeah, so you can go on there. We try to make them as cheap as possible. They're embroidered and everything like that. They're good quality hats. So go check that out. And then give it.
Or my bad to cut you off, but
No,
the hottest trending newest costume for Halloween this year is being a Small Guys podcast member. So
What they say.
you can get the hat, get the costume. You could be one of us. So that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. So yeah, go if you're watching this on YouTube, give it a like. And if
I gave this hat to my special friend. Not gonna name names. I gave him this hat. He had no bitches at start. Put the hat on.
Are you talking about Dylan?
Oh my god, bitches galore.
Nope, not Dylan.
Not Dylan. Okay.
Yeah, damn, that's a crazy
Cody.
story though, Puff.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't know him though. Went to a different school. Wink, Aiden. Wink, wink.
But yeah, let's get into House of the Dragon. It's an eternal succession war with the House Targaryen at the height of its power. It's 172 years before the birth of Daenerys Targaryen. Let's see what got on Rotten Tomatoes. It's got an 85% critic score and an 84% audience score. From when we're recording this, the finale was literally not even 24 hours ago. So, what do you guys think? Yep.
Ooh, what a show! What a show!
Oh yeah.
To come off the high, well, I mean, I guess you could call it low. The low that was the ending of Game of Thrones. I know me personally,
as low as you can go.
Didn't hate it. I know Josh and Aiden absolutely despised it. Spencer was in the air last time we talked about it, but I personally didn't hate the ending.
I like the story. It was clearly rushed.
Yeah.
100%.
And
you can tell when you're watching, and you can tell that something
yes.
is being rushed, and they're just trying to get it done with. That's how you know. Like, I mean,
when the creator is begging for more seasons than what the producers are giving,
exactly.
Yeah. But to come off of that low to becoming, wasn't it the most watched show that released? And same with finale. That number just came out that was the most streamed thing on HBO. So to come off of that low, high, whichever way you want to look at it, but to roll in like this just kind of proves where this show is at. And I think it consistently just got better. I'm not going to say it was the craziest thing ever, but it was a damn good show.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely ended on one of the high points of the season.
I just think that, I was lucky enough to watch Game of Thrones, the original 8 seasons in literally 1 month. Number one show, everyone talks about it all the time. One of the most popular shows that we've ever seen, in our lifetime as far as now. But I went ahead and I started watching it. First season's very slow, Game of Thrones, and then that last episode, no spoilers. I'm gonna spoil it right now. When Ned Stark gets his head chopped off, that's when I was like, damn, this show's kind of ass. And then literally the ending scene of season 1, I was hooked nonstop. I was getting off of work, literally any free time I had, I'm watching Game of Thrones. Loved it. One of the greatest episodes, or not even episodes, series of television I've ever seen. Story was great. I'm reading the books now. But it's great. It's one of my favorite TV shows of all time.
No, Aiden, you went as far as coming home on lunch and trying to crank out like a full episode, right?
On my hour lunch break, I would literally get on my lunch, I'd click start, and I'd watch as much as I could until I had like. So I was dedicated, and it was great. It was a great watch, and peak television from seasons 3 to 6, I would say. Even season 1 to 6.
I think 1 through 5.
I really like 6.
Yeah, I think season 6 was the last
6
one that was
like
universally beloved, and then 7 and 8 were the kind of.
Well, I think 6 is when they started going off script, right? Because they didn't.
Yeah, that's when they left the. The source material.
Yeah, but like you said, Spence, earlier, they weren't really rushed, right? So they're able to actually come up with a decent story, and then 7 and 8, not so much.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, there's a lot too with what is it, D&D? Is that who the 2 directors are?
Yeah.
Yeah, David Benioff and.
Yep. Well, they were guaranteed the Star Wars newest Star Wars trilogy, which ended up being Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
But
they were promised that trilogy, and
They were
because
promising,
they
then
botched the
someone
last
fell
2
through.
seasons. Disney decided to go.
Yeah, so literally Disney called them, was like, "Yeah, we're not gonna go with you guys," and then they just got screwed over, which is crazy. Do they have their hands on House of the Dragon or no?
No.
No.
Oh, so
God, no.
It's a completely new team. Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, but that's where I was like getting to, is that 8 seasons of Game of Thrones was like, there was a lot of fluff.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like that with House of the Dragon, but the fact that some people love and some people hate the time jumps. I personally love them. I mean, yeah, it kind of does kill some of the characters, like arcs and all that. Like, how some of the newest cast we would see, I mean, I'm not so good with the names, but we see them as adults and then they're dead in that same episode, and you don't even know, like, some of the hidden stuff. But
That's
I like
the
how
problem when just with the time period that they chose to
Mhm.
make the show about.
yeah,
I think a lot of the viewers going into this show didn't really know when the true story started, and the
Yeah.
actual story started in the last episode.
Yeah,
the season
Dance of the
finale.
Dragons.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is when the Dance of the Dragons begins. The
Yes.
the beginning was just that was the prologue. It was a
Mhm.
season long prologue to get to the actual
But that's the thing, is that this is
material
going to
that
be
we're actually going to be watching.
the storytelling season, and it was not like there was something. The episode just got better and better each week. I don't think that they got relatively worse as we were watching them per week.
No, I was. They did a very good job of enticing me to come back.
100%.
Yeah, you were definitely correct. We didn't get to see a lot of each character, at least these supporting roles, develop as much, but they did a fantastic job of advancing the actual plot to get us where we were at the end of season 10, which was a mind blowing ending.
Okay.
Yeah, I will say though, while we're on the topic of the time jumps and stuff, again, I think we talked about it in the Shawshank movies that do a really good job of just mentioning it. This is one of those. I think there was only one time where I caught that they had went ahead. That it was when they did the little 3-year jump. I didn't catch that right away until I think Spencer pointed that out to me. And I was like, oh yeah, like I guess that would make sense.
Yeah, it was Egon's birthday.
Yes,
Oh, episode 3.
Yeah, so that one
episode
I
3,
didn't
yeah.
catch, but again, that was just me being negligent, probably playing on my fucking phone. They did a great job with that, and then also I want to shout out the 2 actresses, the young Rhaenyra and the young Alicent, dude, fucking killed it, and that just kind of honestly made me skeptical for the time jump to see how the second half of the season would play out, because that's when we were getting the adults, and it's like we know
developed a kind of a trust in these characters to do their job.
Yes.
You have to completely relay that trust to 2 other people to play the same.
Yes, and again, those 2 younger girls fucking killed it. They
did.
were so believable in it. Like, sometimes you see a child actor, and I mean, you can't even call them children because they're right around our age, but like you could tell. But I would say these 2 young actresses like put it together very well. And again, it did have me skeptical for the second half, but the way that it played out, that the actors that they brought in for Rhaenyra and Alicent, both of them, again, killed it. It just took me another episode to get used to them and how I would like them.
I didn't really have any fear. Like, I mean, yeah, when they mentioned that, because most people didn't know that when, the season started. You're like, oh, they're doing time jumps. And then you finally get that first one where it's episode 5 through. That, I mean, just the way that they did episode 1 through 5, like, of course they were gonna do a good ass job.
Yeah.
And I really, that, like, all the fear that you had kind of.
It got easier going through, seeing how good of a job they were doing.
Yeah, obviously I didn't think the show was gonna absolutely fucking tank, but at the same time,
was
it's
definitely a fair.
I love how, like, how many seasons did it take us to see a dragon in Game of Thrones?
Fucking what, 3, 2?
Well, at the end of the first season, we see them.
She's got the eggs.
Yeah,
did they hatch in the
like,
first
they
one?
hatch
Yeah,
at the very end.
Yeah.
I think when she's finally in Marine and she gets the Unsullied is when we first see the Drogon actually,
Yep. But I think that it's sick that literally first episode we got a taste of the dragon. But I mean, it is the House of the Dragon, so of course they were going to see it, or they were going to
17 in this.
Yeah, now there's 17, and now like
it's gone from 3 to 17.
On that final episode, I remember watching after episode 9, like the little trailers that they have after you watch it.
Oh yeah,
and it looked like it was going to be like a full-on battle. But then I realized, I'm like, well, that can't happen. Like something minor has to happen that like sets it off, and that someone's going to die. And then, I mean, if we're going right to it now.
Yeah, we could talk about the last episode first. I mean, because it's fresh on our minds.
Literally opening scene when you see, who was it, Lucerys? Yep, and you see little
Yeah,
Lucerys,
Luke.
I'm like, well, now we know who's dead because they're already getting you invested right off the rip. And I literally saw him. I'm like, well, if anyone's gonna die, it's him.
He's sitting alone at the table, obviously pondering something.
Yeah, he's putting his hands over Driftmark.
Yeah,
saying that he's seasick, all this stuff going.
He doesn't want the crown. He doesn't want to be
talking to Rhaenyra, and he's calling her perfect and all that. And then she's like giving him the little scroll to like give to whatever king that was, and she's like rubbing his hand. I'm like, dude, he's so dead.
Yeah, it was Baratheon. It was
Baratheon. Yeah,
Baratheon's like great grandfather.
Dude,
like, so
when he
much
landed
in
his
this episode.
dragon in the storm in the background, chills.
Yeah, he should have just turned it around, bro.
He
He
even
even knew,
a
he even knew that he
little
was gonna
Jurassic Park type scene with
so sick.
in the
So
cloudy,
cool.
stormy background, just the shadow of him.
So sweet.
Yeah,
Completely over,
Vagar.
like just standing completely over this entire city. Basically, he's just larger than it. And
See, the craziest thing that I took from like this first season, which I mean, we give 4, so this is just the beginning. It's gonna get so good. It's gonna be great, and I'm excited for it. But a lot of it is character arc. You see, like with the time jumps, how Aemond was, or not Aemond,
Aegon.
no, not Aegon.
Daemon, the uncle.
No, Damon. Sorry, Damon was like an
all the
asshole.
same name.
He was
Yeah,
the villain, and everyone you start to love him once him and Rhaenyra become partnered and all that, and then
You actually liked him one episode and disliked him the next episode.
and then now this
times
last
that
episode started him up to be like, now he's just an asshole again. Like he's choking out Rhaenyra at the fireplace. Like all he wants to do is go to war. Like that mindset of Daemon is back, and it's kind of crazy because you see Aemon. Like remember that first episode when he gets his eye cut. He's like, "Don't worry, mother. Like I may have lost an eye, but I gained a dragon."
Yeah,
and it's Vagar,
and then
like,
even fucking Otto was like, the boy's right. Like,
yeah,
he might have lost
That's
an
the
eye,
hardest-
but
that
we
was
went
one of
the
the
kid's
best-
grandfather
one of
who
the best
gets
episodes.
blinded, and he says, "No, he's right."
Yeah,
We're
but then-
glad that he got his eye cut off.
But you see, as a kid, like if you're as a kid, like you don't care about your eye being gone. Like how is it gonna affect you when you're older? You know, and that's
And
where
he's
he was like,
cold
he's
as
like,
fuck
cut your
with
eye
the
out.
sword, dude.
Yeah, and now he's just like, I don't know.
Oh,
I'm
nice
excited.
little
I don't know anything
fuck
about the
scene
books,
that
which
was.
sucks.
When Lucerys and Jacaerys finally come back to King's Landing, and they're watching Kristen Cole train with some unknown younger man, and then they get up finally through the crowd, and they see that it's their uncle who they've cut their eye off and now has the most powerful dragon. They're like, oh shit.
Yeah, well, mostly because he's a fucking 16-year-old that looks 30 years old.
35.
Dude's got a mortgage and 3 kids.
He is. I think he's doing a great job in this role. But
dude's terrifying.
What is wrong with his facial expressions? Why does he always have that weird smirk?
Smug.
I don't know. But someone was telling me, I don't know if it was one of you guys, but I guess in like the time period, they're like, I mean, they're all inbred. You got to think like they all like, if you were to illustrate them, I think that they do a better job on the show, obviously being no prosthetics and all that. But I'm sure those motherfuckers are ugly as shit. All crossbreeding and stuff like that, man. They're like genetically modified children and stuff like that.
Aiden, you do know that this is made up, right?
Yeah.
They weren't real people.
Yeah.
Dragons aren't real.
Yeah, but if you saw them right now, today.
I saw a video on Twitter today saying that they found a dragon.
I was going to say, I saw that video too, bro. They're real.
Yeah, can we talk about I feel like we should talk about the miscarriage. I want your guys' opinion on it. Do you think not even this season, but I'm in all of Game of Thrones and everything, maybe in all of television, do you think that's the grossest thing we've ever seen? Because that was tough to watch.
That was disgusting. Well, it sucked too because she's in pain, like screaming and shit.
She's selling it.
I don't know if I'd say gross. There's some pretty nasty.
They just kept showing it, Spence. They kept showing that baby.
I'm gonna be. I had to. I looked away a couple times.
Yeah, I pulled out my phone. I was like,
I had to look away.
Yeah, they start wrapping it up, and you can still see it.
No, they went on. You thought it was over with,
on the
and
ground.
They kept going on, and I was like, all right. Like,
exactly.
I don't even know how they
I don't know, dude. I think the dude shoving his hand in his pants when Allison showed her feet might be worse than the little baby fetus.
No.
In terms of just gross, yeah, that's kind of gross. Like, honestly, miscarriages happen. I get what they're doing. Like, they're showing it like this is real life. This is an actual show. Like, these things did happen or do happen. Again, this is made up, but if you want to actually,
but I did read
as
something
realistic as possible. But I don't think you need to show.
Someone had told me that she did it on purpose. Is this true?
It's when she heard the news, then it like forced her stillbirth, kind of.
I think
it was all a shock to her.
Is known to cause that.
Yeah.
And then again, it also is her uncle's.
Yeah, they got the same DNA in there.
The same DNA.
Yeah,
but in the books,
as his father.
In the books, I guess the baby was born with a dragon tail and like scales.
What?
Skin.
That would have been fucking sick.
I know, and that's why everyone's like, well, they kind of like made the skull deformed and all that, you know, where you can like see. But then again, I mean, it's not.
I think I only saw one leg too, so I don't know if they were trying to get.
Okay.
It was.
But yeah, that's what I'm surprised. Everyone's kind of mad because imagine seeing a baby with dragon scale and a tail.
Yeah, I like the I liked her screaming, and then the dragon also her dragon screaming too, because they are
side by side connected.
Yeah, they are connected.
Linked. Yeah.
Yeah, they are linked. So like she's feeling the same pain, you know, as Rhaenyra is and whatnot. So it's pretty cool.
Which that is one of the coolest fucking things throughout this show, as we saw. Was it episode 2 when Daemon tried to ride off with the egg, and he literally just goes, "I just want my child to sleep in the cradle with the egg," and like that's how it starts, dude. Like they have these eggs around, and as soon as the baby's born, they like build that bond with them.
Yeah,
and I think that's so
in the
cool
cradle with the children.
Yeah. Like that is fucking awesome. Like obviously we kind of saw it, but again, Daenerys wasn't a baby. So, like, yeah, the dragons hatched and she was there, but that's why they saw it as a mother. Versus if she was to be a child in a cradle with them, then it's like, all right, I'm their protector.
Yeah, I haven't heard any of these current actors, these current characters reference their dragons as like a child of theirs. It's more of like a birthright. Avatar relationship with their animals, how they bond with the hair as much as you could portray that. I feel like that's kind of what they're getting at more than.
But I mean, you could definitely see like the maturity levels between Daemon and his dragon. What's the queen that was never crowned? Rhaenys, her and her dragon. And then obviously Rhaenyra and her dragon.
Yeah, but look at Daemon in this newest episode where he's singing in Valyrian to I think it's Vermeether, who's like the 5th biggest dragon ever.
He's the second largest alive in this time period. Valerian, the one that Viserys rode with the big skull that's in the crypt.
That's
the biggest of all time.
Biggest ever.
Yeah.
And then Vhagar is
currently the biggest,
which is the one that Aemon rides.
Yeah, and I believe like the cannibals top 5 too, right, Spence? And the cannibal also lives
Lambs, Dragon Stealer or something like that.
So Dragonstone is like the mountain is kind of almost a living place for these dragons. So Dragonstone is an island, but on the island is a mountain where all these dragons live, and inside is kind of like volcanic, so it's really hot. It's perfect climate for these dragons to live.
Yeah, because from what I heard is we've only really seen a little bit of Dragonstone so far, right? Like it is a big island, and
so it's kind of it's similar to Winterfell or like Casterly Rock or Harrenhal. All of these places where these lords come from, they're independent cities inside country that is Westeros or
big Skyrim vibe.
Yeah, so from what I've read and everything, Dragonstone is some city and on the island there's like
all the dragons kind of incubate in there. But one thing, like just with these, like after watching this first season, it kind of like this question came to me. I don't know. None of us have read the books, right? I don't know too much of the history on it, but
reading right now. But yeah, I'm not
Targaryens, they don't burn. Like remember,
they're like more fire resistant than
because Valyrians do.
But when they're dead, how come they're burned? Like their bodies.
Because they do burn. They're just they're less heat sensitive. Daenerys was seen as a miracle when she survived the burning building.
Yeah.
When her dragon
she can't be the first in history to do that, right?
No, that's why she's seen as like a miracle and
the true mother of dragons, right?
The unburned, the mother of dragons.
Because they've only heard about it.
They do burn.
They've seen it.
It's just,
I mean,
They're just.
I just remember that scene
fire
alone, and she
resistant
literally
fire.
just walks through it.
Well, so I did look up some book differences. Are you caught up on the books like to this point, Spence?
No.
Okay,
This
maybe
is
I
new
should
info.
say.
This is all new to me.
Okay, well, okay, so I mean, none of these are insane spoilers for the book or anything like that at all. It's just differences that the show did compared to what the books did. Like the Queen Who Has Never Been, when she came out in episode 9 at the very end.
Yeah, when she came
had
through, at the dragon.
Yeah, and had the choice to burn them.
Mhm.
That didn't happen like that in the books. She just was able to steal her dragon and leave. So that she didn't even have that choice in the books. That's something the showrunners actually decided. George R.R. Martin didn't really want them to do that, but they ended up doing that. I wasn't really happy about that choice. I don't know, because like it kind of pissed me off because I was like, why don't you do it? I get it, that's not her war to do. But you see in episode 10 that she's worried about her grandchildren. So it's like, if you're that stressed out about it and you're going to tell your husband that we need to support, Rhaenyra and stuff like that, you'd think, okay, maybe she should have done it. There's that difference.
Well, real quick on top of that, I love how they clear it up in episode 10 when she comes to tell Rhaenyra and Daemon, like, that's not my war to start.
Yeah,
because that literally answers all the questions for it, which is badass.
I read a lot of reviews saying exactly what you said, Josh. How people were kind of unhappy that she decided to kind of hold her breath and not do that. I do like that they clarify that. I love when shows. All right.
Yeah, and I'm happy
they did it so easily too. Like where it made perfect sense, but hindsight.
Yeah, if she would have came back and she was
that
like,
one because her grandson literally did get eaten the very next episode.
Next
somebody
day.
that she could have just killed.
Yeah, and like especially since she knew that her grandchildren were in trouble or at risk of being in trouble. And yeah, so if she would have came back this episode and she's like, Rhaenyra, we need to go to war, then I would have really been pissed off because I was like, really?
But then again, now that her son's dead, is she gonna blame her for not burning them? Like anything now on can go onto her. Like,
but they don't know that she had that option though, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
I feel like I'm in the minority here, but I do like that she chose not to do that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I agree.
I mean, it's a show. It's all made up. Like obviously, booking show like that, she's not gonna end it right there. It's not that easy. And that's Game of Thrones.
I mean, even if they did end it right there, and we got a 1-season show, it would have been a good show.
Yeah,
I'm happy that she chose not to do it though, just for her characters.
Well, so another thing in the show that didn't happen in the book is in the show, Viserys in his last dying breath tells Alicent about the dragon dream with Aegon. That doesn't happen in the book. Viserys just dies, and Alicent decides that she wants Aegon to take the throne. Apparently, people think they did it this way, so some people will still like Team Green and like Alicent and stuff like that, especially since she doesn't want to go the route of killing Rhaenyra and wants to still be friends and stuff with her. Another thing, too, was in the book, during the Battle of Storm's End, when Aegon's chasing Luke, Aegon's trying to hurt him in the book, whereas in the show he's just kind of trying to fuck with him a little bit. So in the show they are trying to make it a little bit more where you maybe might end up still teaming with Team Green. I'm Team Black all the way, obviously.
Oh, definitely. But they do make it where Green has some validity to what they're doing, and I respect that the showrunners decided to do that, like you said, how that was one of their creative decisions, and it makes sense. It makes like George Martin, when he was describing this show, he was saying how not one character is all black or all white. Every character is gray, where there's a little bad and a little good in each one, and they're doing a very good job of portraying that. With Alicent going this route, and Viserys telling her the dream of the story of Fire and Ice that he's having, where he wants Aegon to be, or Aegon's the prince promised, when it's not this Aegon.
Yeah, they name fucking 100 people Aegon.
It actually gives her some sense of mind where she's actually doing what her late husband wanted her to do. So you're spot on with that.
Yeah.
Now, does the book say anything about like him having remorse for it? Because you can clearly see like in the show after he killed his fucking cousin, like he was like, "Oh, what the fuck did I do?"
I don't know.
Yeah, I think what he was getting at is he was not remorseful in the books. He wanted
he wanted to harm him.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is what Josh just described, and saying how they want him to be seen as like he was just trying to tease his cousin, and he didn't want the dragon to eat him and murder him.
Yeah. I look at it like kind of like maybe how the movie.
Ah, fuck! I murdered my cousin again.
Damn it.
Oh, sorry, it's his nephew. I keep
his nephew. Yeah, I think they want it more like kind of like how Civil War is, where like you could have been on Team Cap or Team,
I think
Iron
they make
Man.
it real obvious that
yeah.
obviously the blacks are in the right.
Sure, I mean, and most people do,
You're
but
kinda
like they don't
dumb if
want
you're like, "Oh, no,
Team Green
Aegon."
to be like a Joffrey situation where everyone hates their fucking guts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
as far as
So-
Team Green knows, though, they're in the right too. This is what Viserys wants. He wants Aegon to be king.
Yes.
So as we know that it's not true as the
Yes.
viewers, but in the story, obviously they don't think so.
Why doesn't someone just tell them that they're lying?
Yeah,
Hmm?
you're right,
It's
Brian.
treason.
Thank you.
I'm gonna say, yeah. That's
And,
treason.
and
Go have
again,
your tongue for
the
that.
show did a good job of again making it like sway towards not hating Alicent, because again she's like, am I to believe that you guys are conspiring to put my son in power behind my back? Like, that was a good fucking speech. And then they killed old what's his name, and that fucking sucked. And that's when Alicent was like, all right, I gotta close my fucking mouth because they're gonna kill me if I say anything.
Well, and two, let's not forget that the books are written from the point of view of a maester or maesters,
Yes,
right?
yeah, several, and with several different sources as their kind of.
Did the Maesters get killed and they're like, oh shit, he's running on me, he's on top of me, he knocked me?
Well, like the show's really pushing that's like her three boys are strongs. You know what I mean? Like they're pushing that. Whereas in the book, like it was theorized, a lot of people thought that secretly. Whereas like the show's like, no, it is the strongs. I mean, and like too, I think from the book you're supposed to interpret it as that, but like they really push it hard in the show. I feel like so.
Yeah, definitely. That's kind of the whole theme with this show now is they're definitely making the decisions a lot more firm, a lot less questionable.
I'm really excited to see Alicent's like reaction to Aemon killing Lucerys. Now we gotta wait 2 damn years to see the reaction.
I thought there was talk of it maybe coming out late 2023.
They said they were gonna film it early 2023, so I doubt that.
Damn. So it'll be out
2024.
Yeah, because I think I don't remember. Was Game of Thrones all in the fall, or was it always just kind of random? I can't remember. But
I thought it was always late summer, fall.
Yeah, I started watching the last 2 seasons is when I caught up. So I think
the last one came out in November, I thought, right?
Yeah, yep, yeah. It was like the fall. I remember football being on. So
yeah,
which I mean that's a good time to release a show, obviously. But trying to think of other big things that we should. I mean, yeah, with Luke dying, I mean, he could tell Alicent that like he just lost control of the dragons, and I kind of like that too, because like,
but no one's gonna believe him.
Viserys says it in episode 1, like they think that we can control the dragons, but we can't.
Yes.
You know, and this just goes to show both Arax and Vhagar aren't being able to. I mean, like they're both screaming at their dragons, and they're just like both, fight or flight.
I mean, Luke's dragon did start it. He shot the fire at him first. You know.
Yeah.
He hit him, and then that's when Aemon's like, "Oh shit, this is gonna go bad."
Yeah.
Vhagar obey.
Now, didn't they even say something at one point throughout the show where they're like, only a Targaryen is going to kill a Targaryen at this point? And I mean, that's what we saw.
But, that's kind of what they're hitting at. I mean, if all Targaryens have dragons, how are you going to kill them? You know?
Yeah, and again, Josh, that speech that you just brought up, that was one of my favorite things too. Is like, these dragons will be the fucking end of them.
Yeah,
and that's what we're gonna see. So for 3 more seasons, dude, like I'm ecstatic. Like we said, this was a slow burn. Each episode just getting better and fucking better.
Yeah.
And now that this is out of the way, we ended with the Dance of the Dragons. Like, let's fucking go.
See, I just like how it's kind of like flipped, because everyone on the green side, Alicent's side, like besides her, is ready to kill that entire family line, get them all out of there, let Aegon succeed and do all that. Whereas Rhaenyra wanted to not retaliate. She wanted them to take the first blow. Yeah. And if they did the first blow, then she's starting war. And that's literally what it looks like. Even though the dragons went along and killed each other without the kids' like intervention or whatever.
If Aemon never chased him out of the door and hopped on the dragon.
Yeah, I mean that.
He'll be alive, yeah.
But then now, obviously, Rhaenyra doesn't know that. She thinks that, oh, he just killed him. So now it's game on. And now the roles, the sides are flipped. Now Rhaenyra wants to just kill everyone because he's not holding back. Where Alicent's like, I didn't do it. Like, I swear, he didn't do it.
I don't know anything more about the book going forward, obviously, because I don't want to know spoilers. But like,
I'm in the blind.
So with like the Baratheons, because he's like, I don't want anything happening under my roof. Do you think still it might rub him the wrong way that like right after, I mean, Luke was just a messenger, right? So it's like, you think that might rub him the wrong way still, or maybe not because he's still getting promised stuff from the king, whereas the queen's not really offering him anything.
See, that's where
the way she described him as some really proud man.
Yeah,
that you really just have to suck up to.
That was his father. He died during that, and she didn't know that because she's been on Dragonstone. And that's why his son took over, and he's illiterate. That's why the Maester had to read the note for him.
Oh, okay. Because the Starks have a young king.
He doesn't care. He's like, that's why. Why should I do my father's promise?
Yeah. See, I was excited because I was like, oh shit, are we going to see Winterfell? And we didn't. But I was really excited.
The fact that they left that open for the opening of season 2, I am so excited for.
Yeah, and I'll say this:
Kragan, who's the head Stark right now at Winterfell, he's a young guy right now.
Yep.
He is like one of the most badass people.
Damn, I'm so excited. Yeah, because I feel like the Starks got to go with Team Green, so or Team Black. I mean, Team Black.
Easily on Rhaenyra's side.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
Starks.
I'll say this, and I don't think a show's done this to me in a while. Maybe Stranger Things did, but like when he's during the Battle of Storm's End, I was at the edge of my seat. I was anxious as fuck. I swear my hands were getting sweaty. I was so fucking nervous. And it was incredible that a show can do that to me. So I just wanted to say that for a finale, I think it was pretty fucking sick. And two, just to throw this out there, that table with the map once they lit it up, that table's badass. I want that table so fucking bad in my house.
Oh yeah.
And I love that they're able to do that now. That this is 200 years ago, and Targaryens haven't occupied Dragonstone in a while. When we get to the Game of Thrones, that's the same table that's in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So just the fact that Targaryens haven't done it, they don't know that this table is capable of doing it. I don't know. I just love that this show is kind of like they're able to spruce it up a little bit and it still follow the storyline.
Yeah, because we know how things end in Game of Thrones and stuff like that. So the fact that it can have us like at the edge of our seats, this excited for where the story goes next, it's truly incredible, I think. So
exactly. And that battle that you were just talking about, totally on the edge of my seat. And when he was flying through the little caverns there, I totally thought he was gonna make it out.
Same. Yeah. I thought there was
a split second where he dropped in those caverns, and since he's on such a baby dragon, so small and stuff, I totally thought he was gonna make it out. And then they show him get up through the clouds.
Yeah, and that's how you knew it. I'm like, oh, because you literally see him.
I'm not even gonna lie,
go up. Yeah. You see him just blend in with the clouds, and you're like, oh, all right, he's getting away. And then they switch the scene, and he's still going. I'm like, oh no, I'm like, this is bad.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of expected him to like fall off the dragon unrelated to like his cousin doing anything. Like I thought when he was going up, he was just gonna slip off the reins, and then either his cousin swoops in and saves him, or he was just gonna fucking fall to his death, and then the cousin was gonna get blamed. Or even when they were flying through the storm, I thought maybe he gets struck by lightning or something, and again his cousin gets blamed for it.
No,
or it's his cousin, yeah.
Yeah, no, his uncle.
Uncle.
Yeah, so Eric's like you could see when the 3 dragons were like flying out to deliver the messages and stuff. You could see how tiny his was compared to theirs. Yeah. Even when he's getting on it and he's telling his dragon to focus and whatnot, you could tell how tiny it is. He is supposed to be a really fast dragon. Yeah, he's supposed to be a really fast dragon, but he's flying through a storm and he's getting chased. So he's a little anxious. Yeah. But yeah, I kept hearing on Twitter, like, just wait till the Battle of Storm's End and shit like that. Like, shit's really going to kick off and stuff like that. Exactly. I was thinking it was a full-blown battle. I didn't know it was
I thought it was going to be. I guess that's just, we got to get used to that with this show. We got to get conditioned because these battles are mainly going to be dragon heavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we've seen the majority of the battle between man and man in the third episode with David?
Crab King.
Crab King. Yeah, and
which was also a great fucking scene where
that was a great scene, just dragging them out,
torches them all.
Yeah,
love that.
See, real quick before we keep going on, I'm curious to see how they know that Lucerys is dead and how all that went down because they were over water.
Assume people at Storm's End were able. to...
Yeah, I mean that's what I think, but I mean I guess we won't.
So I know this one according to the books anyway.
They find remains.
Yeah, so the remains of his dragon and his body come to shore on Dragonstone because they're actually pretty close. He was almost getting home. So yeah, it washes up on shore, according to the book, and I'm sure that's how the show does it too.
On the shore of Dragonstone?
Yes.
Instead of Storm's. Oh, okay.
So that'd be crazy to start season 2.
Yes.
Where it's already.
Well, I mean, you see that she's told at the very end, and she makes that face like we're going to fucking war.
So yeah, they already figured it out.
Yeah, but I mean, they might show that Aiden's.
Well, no, yeah. What if they're like he tells her, and then they walk? Opening season 2 is they're at the beach and they just see the remains.
Dude, I want season 2 to open just fucking Winterfell with Dragon Landing, and then like.
That's exactly what I want.
That's how it starts
with just the kid falling from the sky and just splat.
No, I mean they.
That's Game of Thrones episode 1.
And how big Vhagar is, he probably just got eaten clean off.
That's what I thought.
Kind of just snapped in half.
Just a leg.
Yeah, the dragon was in half, so he's on the middle of it.
Dude, one bite ripped him to 3 fucking pieces. I was like, holy shit!
And he wasn't even trying to eat him; he was just trying to kill him.
Yeah, dude. When they're sitting at the table and like they're breaking down, like, okay, we have 300 arrowmen and 200 sword fighters and shit like that. I'm just thinking, I'm like, get to the dragons. And then the guy goes, all right, let's just stop getting around. Like, let's get to the point. We have fucking dragons. Like, let's drop the nukes on these guys.
They have 3.
Yeah, they have 3, and then too, like I'm wondering how they're gonna go about like with dragon riders and stuff like that. I know Daenerys like was able to able to be on Drogon and then have her 2 dragons and didn't need dragon riders, but like I'm not sure how it'll work. I mean, like Daemon has technically 2 dragons now because he kind of did imprint on this new dragon or whatever.
So I think it's called like I don't know the name of it, but I guess like in the book everyone knows who obviously takes over that one, but I don't think it's Daemon. I think he brings it to King's. I think he brings it to Dragonstone and like obtains it, but then someone crazy, I guess.
It's already on Dragonstone. It's in the mountain on Dragonstone.
Yeah.
So he brought it out and kind of familiarized it with a person, but I'm pretty sure there was another rider already.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess in the books it's like someone that we've seen who's like gonna be crazy. Like it's like a big twist or something.
Oh, Sir Criston.
No.
Criston Cole.
Fuck Sir Criston Cole. I want that on my record right now.
Is it one of Daemon and Rhaenyra's kids, do you think? Because I don't know this information either.
What?
Could be. I'm not sure.
Rhaenyra and Daemon have 3 kids now, right?
4 now.
2 sons, and then he has his 2 daughters, and then I think they've had 3 together.
No, they had 3 together, but one was a miscarriage.
I don't think they have a kid yet, or they have.
Yeah,
no, they have
Viserys.
Aegon and Viserys the second.
And Joffrey.
Yeah, Joffrey's a strong boy.
Joffrey's a strong though.
Oh, okay. So she has 3 previously. Okay.
Yeah, so now she has 4 boys. She just has 4 boys, and then Daemon's 2 girls. And then I think the 2. Well, now I guess just one of Daemon's daughters would marry.
But you like how they call Daemon? They don't call him like dad or anything. They don't call him like uncle. They call him
stepdad. Stepdad Daemon.
Fuck you, stepdad Daemon.
Yeah, fuck you.
Dude, when the Baratheon asks, like, are you gonna wed one of my daughters? And he goes, I'm already taken for, and it's like a 12-year-old saying it's just weird as fuck.
I know. I'm already betrothed. Sorry, sir.
Yeah, sorry.
I will say in episode 4 is that when Daemon takes young Rhaenyra, that's like the most uncomfortable the incest has ever made me feel in the show.
Yeah.
I was watching that just like, hey, yo.
And there's a full-blown orgy in the background.
Yep.
I mean, we might as well talk about every episode because that episode's crazy. Then the one that we just got, what was it, episode 9 when they're looking for Aegon? And he doesn't want the crown. He doesn't want any.
I love that episode.
He doesn't want any of the titles.
I know it was
her dad racing.
Episode. They're just kind of hanging out in King's Landing the entire time, but I love when these shows or movies or whatever we're discussing. I love when they are able to show you a little bit more of the universe.
And it's insane how they're
that is some of the most we've been able to see King's Landing, in Game of Thrones and this one, and I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
Aegon's literally in the fighting pits of Flea Bottom. And he's got his bastard son in there, chained up with his nails filed or grown.
Probably multiple.
Yeah, they show how they did a great job showing how unfit he is.
Yeah, exactly. And then especially
really
when he
how much he doesn't want to be king.
When they name him heir, or not even heir, they just go and name him king, and he's sitting there pumping the sword up, and like he's literally Joffrey. But he doesn't even look like he's that. Like they don't show him. He's not really as much evil. I guess a little bit with like the kids at Flea Bottom and all that. But we haven't really seen him done anything. He just gets drunk.
No, so like he rapes
King's Landing.
So like he rapes a lot.
Yeah.
He's pretty evil, and like he'll beat those girls and everything like that just so they'll have sex with him. And he's like a known drunk, I guess. Yeah, I mean,
they show the episode of Allison bribing the servant girl who
Oh
looks
my
like she's
God.
13.
Yeah,
That-
gives
that
her
was
the
a
That's a
tea.
red
tough
keep.
one.
Well, she said she was looking at him, and then she turned
because
away, and he was
raped her.
behind her.
And he's clearly just a terrible person.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
I don't know if he's just if he's like actually evil and like just wants to like harm like all of these people.
I think he just knows that he doesn't want to
Terrible
be, he doesn't want to have the power, and they're kind of
Yeah.
forcing it on him, and he's gonna do everything that he can to not to like stray away from it.
yeah.
But,
Episode 9 was
Or
was
at a weird
best.
point too, I think he could just be doing all of it because he knows that he has rights to the throne, and that even if he doesn't want it, he's like, "Fuck it, like I'm gonna be king. I'm gonna do all these terrible things. I'll get out of it."
I think the funniest episode is when she goes to his quarters and he's just out the
Oh
window
my
ass naked.
God,
I was like, what the hell is going
Episode
on?
4 or something like that. Like, that
Yeah.
was after like the third jump when
Dude,
they were finally adults. But
me and Spencer were joking
man.
around about the unfortunate Kingsguard that was
Down at the bottom that like gets hit by the load and it's just like, oh, is that bird poop? And then someone like licks it and they're like, that's not poop.
They'd have to lick it to tell.
yeah, I don't know.
Uh,
Oh no, show so far was amazing.
Oh
Yeah.
Very good.
yeah, and the fact that like in episode 9 we see the green side and then 10 the black side right before the war actually starts is incredible. It's such a good idea.
Yeah.
Just
I think
throughout-
they did an outstanding job. I think literally, like I said, every episode just gets better and better. And it's such a great start for, 4 seasons if that's what they confirmed on. I think it's a great start. I think it was more action than we obviously got at the start of Game of Thrones. And with being a shorter series, they're not messing around.
Yeah.
They're
Did
getting
they
right to the
actually
chase.
have they confirmed that it's 4?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
That
yeah.
also
Well, it
brings-
said George R.R. Martin said that it has to be 4 to tell
Yeah,
the
he's
true
like it should
story.
be 4 and I think they're going to agree to that, but
Because you got to think we get that Jon Snow show after this. So
Yeah,
That's
is that
exciting.
going to be after this or
nope.
like?
It takes
I
place
thought it was
right
like
after Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
meant
but
like,
I
is
thought
it
they were
coming out like
filming,
next year?
yeah, I thought they were going to
Oh, I have
start
no
filming
clue.
it right
They
away.
have a trailer for it, and that's about it.
You have a trailer
Oh,
for it
okay.
already?
Mhm.
I don't fucking remember that.
It's just like Game of Thrones footage.
I think one of my favorite scenes was when I think it was Eric, one of the twins, brought the crown to Rhaenyra. I
Yeah.
thought that was badass.
Yeah, that was,
That was sweet.
Eric Cargyle.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
With
Those
an
twins,
A,
I
right?
heard. Spencer,
they
I heard
hint
those
at
twins are big, like
in
going
9.
forward in the story.
Yeah, they hint that at 9 when his brother is rounding up Aegon and fighting Kristen Cole, and
Yeah.
Eric just looks at him and just turns away like, I'm not doing this bullshit.
Yeah,
Yep.
You guys are clearly not fit for this.
yeah,
I'm gonna go serve the actual person who should be
yeah, yeah.
running,
That's badass.
And then he shows up in 9 at one of the worst times in Rhaenyra's
Yeah,
life.
terrible timing on his part.
And it kind of makes it one of the best times in her life when he hands Daemon the crown and she actually becomes who she's supposed to be.
Yeah, yeah. And then too, when
Clearly, it's supposed to be her when she was at Aegon's birthday episode when they were running away, and then they finally see the white deer
yeah,
What
Stag.
Stag?
who comes
Yep.
to the actual ruler supposedly,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they find a gray one for Aegon, but they're like it'll do,
Yeah.
and then the white one's just on the cliff with her.
yeah.
So
Well, no,
they
and
really-
then
I mean,
too,
that's how
like,
you know it was meant to be.
yeah,
when they-
exactly. Yeah.
when the Queen That Never was talking to Lord Corlys, which I'm so happy they didn't kill him off screen. I was so worried they're gonna. And she's like, Rhaenyra is sitting in there with all these men telling her to go to war, and she's the one holding out and not going to it because she knows that it's bad for the realm and everything like that. I thought that was really incredible too. It kind of like that's what I loved about like Jon Snow is like he really did put everyone else before himself, and that's why I really love that character. And
That's
it
why he
seems
was
like
such a good leader.
yeah,
he
and
was
that's what
meant
it,
to
like.
be.
They're
It
showing
seems
a lot
like
of
she
those
was kind of
qualities
going
in
that
the
way.
leader,
Yeah, she
Yeah.
100% is. But now it's kind of like that's where like her whole thing was to not retaliate, be like, the better person. But now that they struck first and killed her son, like
Exactly.
And
hopefully
this
we just
entire
see a
season, the
flip
Queen That
side.
Never Was is still the number 1 on my list of who
I-
should be the ruler of.
dude. She's sick,
sweet.
man.
This entire
She's honestly
season,
one of the
she has
sweetest.
shown nothing but like the actual ability to lead.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
She
She's just
knows that
low-key,
she's never gonna get a chance. Even
Yeah.
when she was first talking to Rhaenyra on the balcony, and
Yep.
she's like, "They're just never gonna take you because you're a woman."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
wasn't talking trash or saying
And
that.
she's true. She's
or
she's
anything.
being dead honest.
She's just telling her the way of the world.
Yeah,
And
she
then-
definitely sees herself in her too, I'd say.
Definitely. And then the season 9 with her not bending the knee and breaking out, not killing them. And then
Yeah.
in this one, she's the only reason that Corlys dedicated the fleet to her.
Yeah,
because
which that's big
she
too.
spoke to him. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
They have all of King's Landing barricaded.
And the stepstones too.
Yeah, and the stepstones. They literally hold all of the waterways.
I thought that was sweet when they announced when Corlys shows up. That's badass.
Dude, with
And then
his
he
cane,
announces
dude?
that they won the Stepstone War.
Yeah. He's like, we
I was
got
like, hell yeah. That's why
brigades
everyone
and
was shocked
everything,
too. But that's
yeah.
how you know, like word doesn't travel. Like even the ravens, they don't like dragons are faster than ravens, like they said. Like
Yeah, when she's like, we'll just send ravens to see. I'm like, you're gonna trust your war to ravens? I'm like, come on, go get on a dragon.
That's the one time that I thought her sons were actually correct.
Yeah.
Is what they said. We should fly. They should
Yeah. Yeah, we're quicker than
You should
birds.
send your sons on a dragon who's faster and it's actually people to say these words that you need.
Yeah.
Which is
That's
why I'm
why,
so
man.
excited for them to
She's-
show Craig and Stark, like we've already
oh yeah.
talked about earlier, because he's gonna, out of all the people, he's gonna be the one that respects that the son came.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
With
then
how honorable the Starks are, and how Winterfell is, known as like this mighty point in Westeros.
it's gonna be sweet seeing it
honorable
like
men and leaders, and
100 years before, almost 200 years before.
yeah, this is.
It's gonna be sick.
So
But
I
I
love
won't-
that
Go
they
ahead.
left that open for it to be
Yeah.
discussed more than what we got
mhm.
with Luke and the Baratheons.
yeah.
It was really only a 5 to 10 minute scene. You didn't get a lot of the Baratheon, and the way that they did this, I feel like we're gonna get maybe a whole entire episode in Winterfell.
Mhm. Yeah. I'm excited, man. It's gonna be badass. But one thing is that they've been mentioning that there's a child that's off screen, and we haven't seen him yet. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, so it's Alicent's and Viserys's son, and he's the
Oh.
youngest son, and he's staying, I think, at like an aunt's house. I don't know, some fucking other castle.
Isn't he in, what is it, Old Town with the High Towers?
That's what it is. Yes,
sure
the
that's
High
right,
Towers. Yes.
It's
So
with Otto, who's his grandfather, who's Alicent's father.
yes, and he just hasn't been shown
yeah.
on screen yet. He's in the theme song credits, like you can kind of see the bloodstream for him. He just hasn't been shown on screen yet. He is confirmed to be in season 2. So yeah, they have
Sweet.
another son.
Yeah.
So
And you
I guess
still
they
gotta
just
think
have
that
time.
who's Rhaenyra's the Valerian husband that she had?
Laenor.
Laenor?
Laenor.
Yeah, Laenor's
still
still
alive.
alive. And it's another dragon. So
Dude,
he's
Sea
gonna
Smoke
come in
is-
like he's gonna
Sea
come in
Smoke's
like
a sweet ass one
season
too.
3 or 4, man. He's gonna come in and do some crazy shit.
He's
Especially it's gonna be like I can just picture it. I don't know anything. I'm just making this up. But like because at some point Corlys is probably gonna die here soon. Like we're not gonna see any action with him. But what is it, Rhaenys?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rhaenys is gonna end up dying or something, and like right when she dies, Laenor's either gonna come save her or she's gonna see him, or she's gonna like give up or something, and then she's gonna see Laenor and how he's still alive, and it's just gonna be a huge.
She
tragedy.
better have a badass fucking death.
Yeah,
I
she
know, that's
fucking
what I'm saying.
deserves
Oh,
it.
she
She's
will.
gonna go out.
It's gonna be
heavy.
her and her dragon going out together.
She's gonna like kamikaze some shit. I feel like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel
and, like,
bad for that
sacrifice
lady,
herself.
dude.
She's gonna protect one of her daughters who are
Mhm.
being,
Or
they're
granddaughters.
about to be killed by Aemond and Vhagar, and she's
Yeah.
gonna come in with Meleys. And
Dude,
she's-
when she said she was gonna go patrol the stepstones with her dragon, just her and her dragon, I'm like, that's
Yeah.
so fucking badass.
Mhm.
She's badass. She's
Yeah, dude,
sick.
she got
even
the
when
fucking
Damon
short end of
mentions
the
it to Luke
stick.
and says, "Hey, you need to," or no, it's not Luke. It's Jacaerys.
Jacaerys, yeah. Yeah.
And he says, we're not hanging out here. You're not telling me what to do. I'm telling you to get on your dragon and go patrol the skies because we do not have enough men on
Yeah.
Dragonstone. And then I thought that was a pretty cool scene.
Yeah.
Just the fact that they can, that's such an advantage, especially at this time period.
Yeah.
Go patrol the skies right now with your
Yeah, I mean,
dragon.
how else are they gonna fucking get there?
Let's see
Exactly.
Vhagar pull up. Just fucking turn around.
Yeah.
Look at, I'm down. I'm going back into the cave.
Yeah, and I think Rhaegar's one of the only dragons that's been to war too. I
But
mean,
you also gotta like take into consideration that all these dragons die. Something happens to them. So like each season they're just gonna keep going on. There's just gonna be a
Yeah,
battle.
we're gonna get down to a couple dragons by the last season.
By season 4, it's
Well,
gonna be
so
probably Vhagar and someone else, and then it's gonna be like obviously the one that Damon's getting right now, probably Rhaenyra's dragon, and maybe Damon's like the last 4.
Well, this might be a dumb question. The 3 eggs that Daemon has, is that the 3 eggs that Daenerys gets, or is that something different?
No, it's way ahead
I don't
of
know.
time.
Oh, I didn't know if
No.
they would just sit there and incubate for the next 100 years. I don't know.
Nah, because they
I feel like
hatch.
they easily could.
Yeah, no, but I feel like everything's super quick. Like just in
Yeah.
those years, those kids' eggs have hatched and did what's called. So I think that I watched something. They said that it's not.
Well, so
But
do
we
you
might
guys
see
think
it towards
this?
the end. We might see it when the dragons die. That
Yeah.
would be like a great ending because they
Mhm.
mentioned at the beginning how it's 172 years since
Yeah.
Daenerys Targaryen, and
You
then
could show them just sitting in a dragon pit.
they would show they would
Yeah.
do like a pan where you see the eggs, and then
Yeah.
perfect ending.
Well,
Was
so
it
you guys,
172 before Daenerys or before Mad King?
it was 172
Daenerys.
before Daenerys was born.
Okay.
Yep.
Which is the Mad King. The Mad King
Okay.
was the Mad King when she
Yeah.
was born.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you guys think by the end of this show, the end of the 4th season, or however many seasons they do you think it'll lead right into Game of Thrones, like that same year, like, or do you think we'll still be like 20 years out?
No,
Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's
Oh,
gonna
I
be
think we're still going to be over 100 years away.
Yeah.
oh really? Okay.
That's
Yeah,
how
this
I'm
is just the
feeling about
Dance
it.
of the Dragons.
Yeah, I didn't know if they try to
Or-
do some time jumps in the end or
I
some
think
shit.
the actual Dance of the Dragons only takes place within I think it's like 27 years or something like
yeah,
that.
because then again,
Okay.
those people don't live long.
No, yeah, I didn't know if maybe they try to do some crazy time jumps in the last season or something to try to catch us up to where Game of Thrones ended, or what, to show how she got her dragons, or how
But I think
she
that they're
came-
leaving that open. I mean, they're basing it off the book, so I'm assuming
Sure.
that the book is written the same way as they say 172 years. So who knows? I mean, it's obviously leaving that gap where they could do
Yeah, I
something.
think we're
But
going to end like 140 years out or
Yep.
something. Like I think it's only from where we started in House of Dragons season 1. I think it's only like 27 to 30 years
yeah,
that this whole thing takes place in.
I'm excited to see. Like, I wonder if they're gonna do like the seasons from here on out. Like, are they gonna focus on one house, or are they just gonna focus on the same story? And then I wonder if like after House of the Dragon, they're gonna start releasing shows like Baratheon and Stark. I mean, Game of Thrones is technically Stark, but it's also Targaryen. It's kind of a mix of all. But
It's
this one's
the
Yeah,
Song
Lannister.
of Fire and
focusing
Ice.
on
It's that's literally the story
It's
that
almost like the Game of Thrones. Like they're all
that
competing to get the
Viserys was
throne.
telling Rhaenyra that's what Game of Thrones was. That was the Song of Fire and Ice.
yeah.
Yeah, and it sucks that the Lone Knight sucks so bad.
I hope. Oh, so do we think that we're gonna see White Walkers in House of the Dragon
I don't
eventually?
Think so. Maybe in
I-
the last
I
season.
hope so.
Isn't the Long Night like one of the best episodes that they had?
Well, that was
Nah, it's not good.
in season 8. I just
Battle
think
of the Bastards is by far the best.
Or
yeah, that
what-
was season 6. I think Battle of the Bastards is the best
is,
one.
is I forgot
Because the Long Night, Spence, is like, I mean,
Is
they
that the
shot
one
that shit
leading
at
up to
night.
the
That's
It's
when
hard to
all
see.
the
When the Night King
white-
dies.
Oh, that is the entire battle. The episode.
Yeah, the
that's
Battle of the
leading-
Bastards was shot during the day,
Which
so you can
is
actually
long
see
as
shit
shit.
going on.
Yeah,
And that
yeah,
one's
that
whole
They
episode's
did a
the
little
battle.
editing if you go back and rewatch the Long Night. It's
Yeah.
not-
Yeah, it's shit. They literally go in and they're like the biggest threat, and then they don't even do anything. They just walk and no one touches them, and then out of nowhere he just dies by Arya Stark. Okay, like,
Well,
this
it
guy's
was-
badass. He literally.
You guys might know who's the actress for Arya Stark again. I'm sorry, I'm bad with the
Maisie
name.
Williams.
Yeah, Maisie. Did you see what she just said on
Yeah.
Twitter?
She rewatched it and it's mid.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
said
she's
this
like-
shit was mid for real.
She's
for
like, it
real.
fell off. Yeah, she's like, it really did fall off at
Duh.
the end. So it's funny to even hear like the actors say it.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. I thought that was
I'm
really
sure if you go back, we could probably find a record of 90% of the actors saying that
Yeah.
it's
saying that
they
is
need to
trash.
reshoot
So-
it or something.
Imagine this. Imagine since like when Rhaenyra mentions that she's probably the only one that's alive that knows the song like Aegon's dream.
Yeah, the actual dream. Yeah,
Because
the actual
Damon didn't even
dream.
know it.
Yeah,
No.
but I wonder if what's her name knows it too. Rhaenys. I wonder if she knows, but I doubt it. Because she was like a crown.
she was never named Heir, so I don't
Yep,
think
she was never named Heir. But imagine since remember when she mentions it and Damon chokes her out, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Fuck all that! Like it's all bullshit. Like there's a throne and someone has to rule it." Imagine if we see like Damon eventually coming full circle and dying by like a White Walker. Like he sees one of the Ice King, and then he becomes one of the guys that stands along with him,
Yeah.
and then like leads into Game of Thrones. That would be sick.
I would love to see some origin to who this guy is.
Yeah,
Who the
because
White
in
Walker
oh, I
actually
know,
is.
100%.
Who is in Commander. I mean, I
Yeah,
know he's
no.
got some that actually do have the long hair like that.
But then they also like in Game of Thrones, the White Walker or the Ice King was like it was long when the what were they called, the tree? people or the kids that had like the magic? Remember they created the White Walkers to fight the evil?
Yeah, not wildlings. Yeah, I know what you're talking
about.
Wildling.
But yeah,
no, I know.
I mean,
yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it ended up turning, and then they became the villains, and the White Walkers took over. And that Ice King was there originally from the beginning, from like the start, like the first foundlings, I think that they called them.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, like watching this shit like gets me so excited, and literally makes me want to go out there and buy the books, learn how to read, and then read them because.
Will you call me and read them to me every night, Joshua?
Sure. Yeah, like I'm jealous of that. I think didn't you get all your books for like $25?
$25.
That's
on
crazy.
Amazon.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
It comes in a sick ass thing too.
Little box set.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that. Spence, how long have you had your books? Did you buy them recently?
No, I am reading my aunt's books that she's
okay.
Before the show even came out.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, she's like an OG fan.
She is an OG. She watched the first.
Dude, the books are so sweet, but that's the thing is we're watching literally the last book, and it's like I just want to watch. I just want to like fly through it, and I can't.
So are you gonna read the whole book and then I don't know, kind of be spoiled to the show a little bit, Aiden? Is that what you're gonna do? Kind of. I mean, it's not spoiled.
No, the song or House of the Dragon or what is it called? It's called.
It's Song of Ice and Fire, right? Or no,
that's A Dance of the Dragons.
A Dance of the Dragons.
That's the final. That's the 5th book.
Okay.
So I'm reading the first. I'm reading.
Oh, you're reading them all in order. I see what you mean.
I'm going one. But that's the thing that sucks is that we're watching this. But eventually, I mean, who knows when I'm gonna finish these books? They're long as shit.
Yeah, because
a little less Warzone.
Is it gonna
Twitch streaming? Start streaming and you read it.
I read every night. I read it as much as I can every night before I pass out.
You could post it up with the book, be like this in a wood.
Yeah, I'm a fake reading like LeBron. trying to get some cute chick at Starbucks that could witness me read up like this.
You're just listening to the audiobook instead.
Smoking a cigarette at City Coffee House.
Sit outside, snow on the ground.
What kind of latte are you drinking? Oh, this is water.
It's a hot chocolate.
It's a Bud Light in a coffee mug.
Well,
do all of these do all your special guests just like get a hat, or like do I definitely have to?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean we all had to pay for them, so like
just go on our website.
My mailbox, or
so just go on our website and click like buy, and then put in promo code small, and then you'll get like a
to all our lovely lady fans or dudes that are gonna write Spencer a love letter because he's a handsome guy. Just go ahead and pay for a hat for him. Pay for a hat for yourself.
Someone gift.
He's spoken for. Or however they said it in the show.
I'm already betrothed.
I'm betrothed.
I'm not free to marry.
I'm not free to marry.
But again, a nice gesture would be buying this young man a hat. He looks good in a hat. He'd look even better in a small guy's hat.
But yeah, you guys want to get to ratings?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, Brian, you started.
All right. Like I said, right at the jump, this was started off more as a slow burn. Was unsure what they were going for here. Obviously you guys nerded out throughout this, and I fucking love that, because if we didn't have this podcast, I would have been getting a phone call from Spencer yesterday about this. And it's great to like have everyone's input on it, because again, I'm just like, I guess a little above a casual watcher when it comes to this shit. Like everyone is filling me in on stuff. I'll catch some things, not everything. And again, that's what I love about Game of Thrones and this show, is that it does that. There's like it's like an onion. There's layers to this shit, and it's fantastic. With that being said,
dragons have layers.
Exactly. There we go. But the finale of this was fucking fantastic. I love they basically had the shot from How to Train Your Dragon. I kept setting it as a joke, but they damn near remade it.
They also had a few shots of Shrek.
Yep. A couple scenes from Shrek damn near.
I didn't see that.
A very funny edit there where what was it? When Rhaenys was breaking through the floor.
Yep.
It looked almost identical to where
you gotta send it to me. I don't see it.
And it's little things like that I just love. But I'm gonna go out, and I'm hoping I can give the second season a higher rating. I'm not giving this a poor rating. I am hoping that this is just progressively gonna go up. Yeah. But I feel very comfortable giving this an 83.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Definitely good TV. When it comes down to it, if I have the time before the second season, I'll probably try to get a rewatch in.
Yep.
And not a lot of shows can get that. So, 83 on this.
Solid. You want to go ahead, Spence?
Yeah. I Hold on, 83. I feel like you're
It's a little low. It's a little low.
Yeah, no,
It's
that's
a
right.
little low.
I think the three of us are 90s.
Come on, casual. Kale's a casual watcher.
You don't
Even
watch
though-
this weekly being a casual watcher, though.
I mean,
And you have to watch it Sunday night, or else you'll get spoiled. I feel like on
Well,
Twitter.
me and my guys
Oh,
at
definitely.
work have
This is
this
definitely my
agreement
Sunday night
where
watch.
we have it by if you don't watch
I tend
it
to watch
by
the last week's
Tuesday,
episode
you're
and then the
fucked.
new one right after.
Yeah, and it sucks too with football being on Sunday nights and stuff. You gotta watch football and then immediately watch the show. I'm not going to bed till like almost 2 a.m. on
Oh,
Sundays,
definitely.
So.
Yeah, every Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep. Right now at this point, I'm so invested in this. My hopes are a little bit higher for the next ones. Now that we're actually in the story,
Mhm.
I do feel like this was a really extended prologue for what we actually wanted to watch, and we didn't really get into it until 9 and 10. So that was a little bit of a bummer. But I don't want to say that just because I was so invested the entire time. Game of Thrones is like a 95 for me. I mean, I don't think you can get much better than that, even with season 8. If it wasn't for season 8 and they went to like 10, I'd give it 100.
It'd be a perfect show.
Uh,
They didn't fuck up the ending.
I'd go 90 here, honestly, with House of Dragons. There's definitely some room to grow, but I mean, oh my god, I was so edge of my seat pretty much every episode. Just super invested. Never wanted to miss a thing.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. I can go next. I honestly think that they did a great job with this. Like I said, I mean, they're confirmed for 4 seasons. And there's no fluff. I mean, they get right to it. Each episode, I feel like, leaves you on a good cliffhanger. And not enough, like you said, like you have high hopes for season 2 and all the other seasons to come. I mean, 100%. There shouldn't be any fluff to any of those episodes at all. Realistically, you know, like, but then again, we can't expect someone to die, someone to fight each episode. But I mean, that's what makes the deaths so much better in Game of Thrones, I feel like. And I feel like we didn't see a lot of like good deaths, but we did see a lot of deaths in just season 1. So, you know, that's another good thing. Like, I'm excited for what they have to do, like what they have to prove on season 2.
Even the episodes where people didn't die, I kind of found to be.
But that's the thing is, that's the
like
beauty of Game of Thrones is
the king
that
died, but he kind of died at the end of the 8th, so he didn't technically die in the 9th. Nobody died in the 9th that we like actually, and I felt like that was
hundreds of townsfolk died.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah, but no, that's the thing with Game of Thrones is that there could be no
illegitimate crowning.
There can be no action, and just them standing in a room just talking can be like, oh shit, like no way. And that's what makes this like show and this entire like franchise sick. And I'm excited for everything that's to come after this. I hope we don't have to wait 2 years for season 2. I mean, I hope we get to see something by like next winter, something like that. But all in all, great watch. I'm not one to rewatch shows, and I hope to rewatch like Game of Thrones here soon, probably once I finish the book. But I'm gonna go with a solid 94. You know, I liked it.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I said this too, right before the big time jump where we got the new actresses and stuff. I was like, if they can stick this, like this will be huge to me because this will make or break the show for me, probably even going forward because I liked the young versions of them so much, the way the actresses did it. But yeah, I mean, like especially like Olivia Cook, like she's great too. Like they're all like amazing. The way like Lord Corlys will probably be my favorite. He's just such a badass. But
amazing character.
But like you get literally attached to every single character. Team Daemon, we struggled in episode 10 with the choking and everything like that. He was looking good for those couple.
That was a low point.
Yeah,
he was honestly
episode 9.
Episode
8 and 9. He really grew up. It seemed like. And
dude,
then,
every time he's on screen, I just love him.
Yeah, and then 10, it seems like he's really just that power hungry Daemon from episode 1 and 2.
Yeah,
it's the fun.
Why are you falling down that hill so much, man? You just climbed all the way up.
Did we even talk about that quote he said to Rhaenyra where he's like, "We didn't get this like battling with men. We got here by dragons."
Yeah,
that fucking quote. Oh, yeah. Oh, I got chills.
That's the thing is like her and her dad have these different point of views and stuff like that.
It almost felt like a Green Goblin moment. Like Norman isn't here anymore, honey. Norman took a sabbatical.
Well, Daemon called Viserys like a bitch. Basically, what he was saying, he's like, when she announced that to him, she told him about this tale of ice and fire. The dream.
Yeah, he was always into his dreams and stuff like that. Daemon's all about the dragons, you know.
Yeah, Daemon and Otto
is all about power.
Up.
Yeah.
That would have been
unstoppable.
Yeah, they would have been a crazy duo. Yeah, but I'm gonna rate this show a 93. I think the next couple seasons will be even better, and I hope to grade them higher. I was like, literally, I look forward to it all week. It sucks now. I'm depressed now that it's done.
Yeah.
And that right there just tells you how good of a fucking show it is. I'll definitely rewatch it before season 2 comes out. And grind through it.
When you're missing it the day after, it's
I know it sucks. And like
we had it so good for like what 10 weeks, and I can't believe how fast it flies by. Honestly,
yeah. And when
See, that was the craziest part was we got to the finale. And I was like, damn, 10 weeks just went by.
Yeah, it flew by, and like
because we're having fun, man.
Yeah, and I'd be excited to like watch it and talk to you guys about it or whatever, or go on Twitter and look at what people are saying, and and like I was like, we're gonna see a lot of dragons in the show, and Game of Thrones, I was always excited to see Daenerys' dragons, like that always hyped me up. But like the way they capture dragons in this show, and they all look different, and every time they're on screen, it's like this momentous thing. It's awesome. So the fact that I could still capture that, I'll rewind fucking scenes with dragons in them a few times, and I'm like, I gotta finish the show. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep rewinding this fucking scene over and over again. The dragons, like the CGI is better than like most movies right now. I mean, especially Marvel movies. So,
Quick chat.
Honestly.
So yeah, so I'm going
watch the inside the episodes that they have in HBO.
I have been watching those, and those are cool too.
You watch them right after.
Yep.
No, there's a different one too. I do watch them every Sunday after it comes out.
Yeah, you gotta watch.
But
You guys don't skip the theme song, do you?
Hell no.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say.
I've never skipped the theme song in all 8 seasons in one episode.
Yeah, you guys watch the theme song?
Jeez, this guy really is a casual.
Wow,
that's
like,
why is this guy on this pod right now?
That's like 2 minutes long. It's already 9 o'clock at night.
It's worth it, bro. That's honestly the best thing. They get you so.
Did you not watch it in Game of Thrones when they showed the map?
Hey, Sunday
why
night,
in the fuck would I watch it during Game of Thrones?
Well, you know where the map, where all the
obviously I watch it from time to time, but when I'm binging like 4 back to back, I'm not gonna watch the title screen every.
Hey, you hear that? You hear those? I don't even know what instrument.
Anyways, there's 10. They're called Inside Look. They're about 20 minutes long for each.
And they're on HBO.
Yeah, they're on HBO. They are. I love them. I love all the in depth and they go back in the story and they kind of tell you. It's very similar to the after the episode, just a little bit more in depth, and they kind of tell you where all the characters are at.
So is it as good as The Talking Dead, or? That used to be my favorite part of The Walking Dead was The Talking Dead.
I think Talking Dead was honestly one of the first ones to ever do that.
Talking Dead was great.
As far as I can remember, it was the first one to do that.
I'd watch it right after.
Yep.
But all right, boys. On Friday we have The Watcher, and we're talking Black Adam. So we'll see if that's good. We haven't seen Black Adam yet, but
we're gonna have our Rings of Power review episode here
next Friday.
Soon.
Yep.
So stay on the lookout for that if you're watching both of them simultaneously.
Yep.
Rings of Power really got me with only 8 episodes. That was kind of.
I thought it was good. I thought they were gonna do 10.
I thought they were going to do 10 too.
Yeah, I thought it was 10. I literally saw that it was.
And then I looked it up, and because at the end of the episode, it kind of.
Did it feel like a finale without spoiling anything? Did it feel like a finale?
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, it felt like the finale to where I looked it up. Just.
Okay. I got what you mean.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Spence, for joining us. Honestly,
yeah, I appreciate it.
I'll be waiting for my hat.
Oh yeah.
Everyone
wait for the UPS guy.
Send it over to Spencer. If you want his address, just DM me on Twitter. I'll get it over.
Or I could just say it right now. It is.
But all right, boys.
We're not gonna edit that one
out. All right, I love you guys.
All
right. See you guys.
See you later. Thanks, Spence.
Thank you.
Anybody. All right, love you guys.